There we go.
Oh, here we go.
Yay.
We're live.
Live. Is it working?
Yeah.
Mine still says off air.
Oh my goodness, no.
It's not working on YouTube.
What's happening?
Oh no, I say live now. Mine says live now.
Okay.
Did you just check? Oh.
Is it going?
Oh,
Everyone,
no, I
I'll
think
see.
we're like talking. No, we're talking to the internet. We're live. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
David, would you just
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'm Brittany. This is my channel, UnderTheRadarBooks. This is our Genrethon live show where we're going to be talking about books that we read and just things that we did this week for Genrethon, and hopefully there's some of you guys joining us so we can discuss. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section and we'll try to get to them if we can. So we're just going to go ahead and introduce ourselves and our channels. So.
Hey, I'm Kristyn from Vienna Waits Books. Next over.
Someone? Okay, no, okay, hi, I'm Joce. My channel is Squibbles Reads.
Hello, I'm Lauren from Lauren and the Books.
Okay, so I want to know how many books each of you guys read, and then we'll go through like our favorite and least favorite. So
I don't even know how many books I read. I have to count.
I have my pile right here.
I are at the library. I had to refer them, so.
I think
I
I
finished
Count
7.
books. 7?
I
Nice.
read
Halfway through
7,
my 7.
and I'm partway through 3. So, and all of which I started this week, so I was pretty impressed. So 7 from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 genres. Yes!
Nice.
Yes!
And I read my 6 from 6 different genres. I did my TBR, so I'm very happy.
Well done, Kristyn.
I finished the
Your
physics book
success
last
story.
night.
Let me see. I'm still counting.
I am halfway through my 7, and they're all from different genres, so I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, a lot of them were pretty short, but
Same here.
Yeah, I had a few proper short ones, yeah.
Okay, I finished 5. They're kind of, mine are very, like, not very classifiable as certain genres. I finished 5, and I am currently in
That was
the
the whole point of Genrethon.
Shut up, Lauren. I finished 5, and I'm currently in the middle of another 4, so I don't know how well I'm gonna do with that, but.
That's still pretty impressive. That like I think we all like. I'm really pleased with how we all did, especially because we were like, "Oh, are we going to be able to do it?" Or maybe I've got a bit too big on the old TBR. But I'm super impressed that I managed 7 books in 8 days.
Yeah.
Go me, go everyone.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so someone on the Kizzy Reads on the YouTube chat just asked us what our favorite books were this week, so
Ooh.
I'm gonna think about it. Actually, no, I'm done thinking.
I'm going to kick off with that.
Okay, my favorite book was definitely Eleanor by Jason Gurley. It is a literary fiction and kind of with like some magical realism elements. Funny story, we were all going to read it together, but Lauren was a rebel and read it first. And then I was like, well, if she going to read it first, I'm going to read it too. So then
Yeah, the worst thing was is that you were all like, oh, when's Lauren going to get it from the library so we can all start reading it together? And I was like, I'll go from the library. I've started reading it. Sorry, guys, I didn't wake you up. See you later.
Yeah,
Love it.
so I really liked Eleanor by Jason Gurley. It is about a girl named Eleanor, and the start of the book starts with her, and she is having like some mental health challenges. She's like feeling really depressed, and it goes through her story, and then we flash forward a few years later, and we are going into the lives of another person named Eleanor who is related to the first Eleanor, and she has a twin sister named Esmeralda. I'm not going to give anything else away apart from that, but it is like a really good portrayal of grief. It is written very lyrically. It's not necessarily like the most fast-paced book, but it is like interspersed between like the present day, whatever present day is, narrative, and also like this weird like magical realism type of world. So it kind of like alternates between the two, and then they kind of like converge at the end, and it's just like really beautiful written, and it is a very good and unique portrayal of grief. So I would definitely recommend that.
Really good. Having read it, it was it's very good. So
Lauren,
really enjoyed
I read it too. It was great.
Having read it in an unbuddy read, I really did enjoy it. I read 2 5-star books this week. This is like, I'm so stingy with my 5 stars, so I was so thrilled that I read 2 5 stars. The first one was a play.
Yay, plays!
Called Skylight by David Hare. So if you can see, there's Carey Mulligan. There's Bill Nighy, and this is all set in one flat. It's set in, oh my god, I forgot, Kyra's flat, and she has a relationship with her ex-employer, whose name is Tom, and also a sort of like romantic, she had an affair with him basically. So apart from these two are the main characters in the play, and then there's Tom's son appears briefly at the beginning and the end, and it was just so good. Like, I was so impressed with how much backstory and information and everything they managed to fill into like 104 pages, and I just loved it. I'd never read a play before, so I was super thrilled when I read this, and I was like, oh god, I only wish I'd seen this at the theatre when it was out. Like, a few people I know, David's sister went to see it, and a friend from work, and I was like, oh, can't believe I didn't see it. But it's definitely led the way that I want to read more and more plays. And I also finished listening to the audiobook of A Year of Living Danishly that I've been bloody going on about forever and ever, and that's about a woman whose husband gets a job working for Lego in Jutland, which is like Denmark, but like in the middle of nowhere. Sticksville, she calls it, in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, it was just set out really nicely, like month by month, and then within those months she'd like cover like healthcare along with January, and like summer holidays along with July and things. And I just loved it. It was really good. So 2 5-star books. I was like double thumbs up, really pleased. Kristyn?
Yeah, I had like 2 favorites. My first was probably the first book in the Fairyland series, The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland. And a ship of her own making, longest title in history. The writing is just like so completely beautiful and like sumptuous, and it's definitely like, obviously it's middle grade, but it's one of those ones where like I read it and I'm seeing like the adult themes in it that a kid reading it wouldn't pick up on, but then the kid would enjoy it as well. And it was like very like realistic as well, that she would get so sad when being away from her family and everything like that, and I just was like a warm hug. And then I loved another play, which again, that was my big surprise, that I don't read plays very often. I read The Crucible by Arthur Miller, which is a play about the Salem witch trials. And yeah, I just found it completely fascinating. I read it in like a day. I just went right through it so quickly, and it was just amazing.
Damn, I should have picked a play.
Yeah, they're really
all these plays.
I know, I'm so excited.
Brittany?
My favorite read was definitely Long Way.
Oh, yes!
Yay!
Which was so good. And I was honestly, I was mad that I picked it for Genrethon because I wanted to read it slowly because it's so detailed and vivid, and I didn't want it to end. And so I definitely think I could have read more if I would have saved this one for a different time. But I gave it 5 stars easily, and it's a sci-fi book that follows this crew of different species that are basically their own family, and they are tunneling like wormhole type things to connect different parts of space. And it's so interesting because it's so much more than just a sci-fi novel. Like, there is a lot of action and adventure, but it's really about the characters and being human and dealing with our differences, and it's just amazing. So I cannot recommend this enough. And then I'm halfway through this one, Wink Poppy Midnight, which is amazing.
I keep seeing that.
So different than I thought it was going to be. And I definitely will finish today, I think, and give everyone my final thoughts in my wrap-up. But it follows 3 characters who are extremely different, and it deals a lot with the power of storytelling and fairy tales, and it's just so magical, and I adore it.
Oh, I want it. That sounds like totally like my thing. I've also heard that book is kind of like dark and weird. Is that true, or am I just like making things up because I want everything to be dark and weird?
If you read something that wasn't dark and weird, really.
Oh man. Okay.
You don't know whether it's going to go down like a magical realism or supernatural route. You can't really tell, and I really like that where you're kind of questioning what's going on and whether it's actually happening. So it's awesome.
Ooh, all right. Let's check the library catalog for that.
Also, the cover is like the prettiest cover in the universe.
That's gorgeous.
It is beautiful.
Font
yeah,
is like killing it there. 10 out of 10 would font that.
So there's quite a few people who've written like their favourites of this year, of this week so far. So Beyond the Deep Woods by Paul Stewart and Chris Riddell, and then Scarlet by Marissa Mayer, says Alison Tuggle. Hi, Alison.
The vegetarian!
Yeah,
Yeah!
the vegetarian, says Liz.
Yes,
I
the
still haven't read that yet. I've definitely got to read that.
Lauren,
You were too busy reading Eleanor. You were too busy reading Eleanor.
I just put it in the bin. I put it in the bin because I thought I'd just read Eleanor instead. Aoife. Hi, Aoife.
Hi,
Aoife. Says Wild by Cheryl Strayed, which I really want to read.
I still want to read that.
My TBR, yeah.
Good.
What else? China in 10 Words by Yu Hao. Wake by Lisa McMahon, and Ghostopolis by Doug Tenaple.
Oh, Armada by Ernest Cline. I've heard like really mixed reviews about that one.
Yeah.
Katie, hi Katie from Books and Things. How to Be Victorian by Ruth Goodman. She read that. Broken Stars.
That sounds cool.
Everyone's been reading loads.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're saying back. Yeah, so there's been loads and loads of favourites. So I was so super pumped to be able to get a 5-star book, especially from a genre I hadn't read before. So I was like, this is what Genrethon's all about.
Opening up new worlds.
Oh, Lala says her favorite was 5 to 1 by Holly Bodger. I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of
I know
that.
what it is.
Wait, who knows what it is?
I don't know. What is it?
Brittany, what is it?
It's a YA book about like a girl who's in a culture where they have arranged marriages, or like multiple partners or something like that, and she's trying to basically go against that type of culture, and she doesn't want to be forced into a marriage.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it has a really cool cover too.
Yeah.
Emily says Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson, which
I love Jenny Lawson. Yes,
I've never
absolutely.
watched it, but I love that cover. I love that cover.
With the raccoon.
Yeah.
No, I heard that the reason why she did that is because her dad was a taxidermist, and so.
Have you not read her first book?
No, I haven't
Let's
read.
Pretend This Never Happened is like probably the funniest book I've ever read in my entire life, and it's like her childhood with her dad as a taxidermist and like all the insane things.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
It's really cool, and the raccoon's like. There's like confetti and stuff, and he's like, ooh.
So funny.
And she did have a raccoon pet as a kid in the book.
What about your least favorite?
Ooh, that's tricky. Let me look. Look at good old Goodreads.
I've got I had two stars. I'll start because I've got them here. That's We Need New Names by Violet Bulawayo. Like, it's hard to explain, but I didn't love this, and I thought I was going to really like it. I'd heard some really good things, and so it follows the story of a girl called Darling and her friends, and they live in a shanty town in Zimbabwe called Paradise. And I just didn't feel like I connected to any of the characters or anything. I felt like it was really rushed. I feel like I've written some actual notes on here, so let me get into those guys. But yeah, I was really hoping it was going to be super, super good.
Wait, is that a library book, Lauren?
No, I bought it at a library book. I bought it at a library for 50p. So.
Oh, I was like, why are you like writing library bindings? That's not good.
Uh-oh, she's discovered it. And also, this was the one, girls, when we were talking on Voxer, I said that there'd been a really fucking horrible dog death. And this was the one that there was a horrible, horrible dog death in it right at the end. And also something really horrible happened to a dog halfway through. And I don't want to sound like I'm being all like, oh, poor Lauren, don't want to read. But I don't want to read shit like that. Like, I don't want to read sad stuff about dogs. So 2 stars. And then the other one was this, which has got a beautiful cover, but was just not enjoyed. Men Explain Things to Me and Other Essays by Rebecca Solnit. So this is like a feminist collection of essays. And some of them I enjoyed. There was one in here about magic equality, thinking about Harry Potter again, marriage equality, which I really, really liked, and another one, the beginning one, Men Explain Things to Me. I liked the title essay, but apart from that, I found it a bit man-hating. Like, there wasn't much equality in there. It was a bit like man-hating, and I spoke to Chelsea as well. Chelsea, if you're watching this back, hi Chelsea. And Chelsea says she felt the same, so I felt not alone in thinking this was a bit man-hating. So yeah, both 2 stars, both like not the best ones, but I didn't hate either of them.
Is that one a library book too? Did you write in that one too?
Yeah, I just did a poo in it. I regret saying that now. Anyone else with least favorite books?
I don't know if this one was like my least favorite book because I read a whole bunch of like 3.5-star books. Like I think 3 out of the 5 that I finished were 3.5 stars, which is like just a little bit above mediocre for me. But I would say the most disappointing of those 3 books, and everyone is gonna lynch me for this, but I did not think that Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys like lived up to all the hype, and there was a lot of hype, like a lot. I think it is because I just read Burial Rites by Hannah Kent, and you guys all know I can't stop talking about Burial Rites. I probably talk about it just as much as And Again. You guys probably never want to hear me say the words And Again ever again.
I can't hear the words And Again, even in normal everyday language, without thinking about you, Joce. Like, I'm going to do that and again. I was like, don't say And Again like that. I just think about Joce whenever I hear those words.
Okay, well, I just read Burial Rites, which was also historical fiction, and Between Shades of Grey is like a YA historical fiction. But Burial Rites, like the language that Hannah Kent used in Burial Rites was very like evocative. It was very, I wouldn't necessarily call it like lyrical, but it was like smooth, but it was also like sharp where it needed to be. It was just like perfect. Like it was the perfect description of like the Icelandic landscape and also just like the bleak, dismal like plot line as well, and just like the emotions behind everyone in the story was, I think, perfectly captured by Hannah Kent. I don't even know how she did it. I can't really describe it very well. But because I loved that historical fiction so much, Ruta Sepetys has an extremely different writing style. I think there are maybe like 100 chapters in Between Shades of Grey, and each chapter is like 2 to 3 pages long. So in each chapter, what happens, pretty much every chapter, if not like alternating chapters, there is like a few paragraphs of present day, and then there is a few paragraphs in italics that describe some of the backstory that go in the past. So for every event that takes place, there's only a few paragraphs of present day and then a few paragraphs of backstory. However, everything is written in very like short, simple sentences, like subject, verb, object. Like that's it. That's like all that happens. Like there are like very rarely more than 2 clauses in one sentence. There are very few like descriptors, which I mean is great and it's fine, and like it's very sad. Like the event is very sad, and this is not like a point in history that's very covered in school. Like we don't learn about this in school, which I think is like not good. Like I really applaud Ruta Sepetys for like writing about this. But just because it's sad doesn't mean I necessarily like liked it. Like I think that it just did not live up to the potential for something that could have been so grand, like Burial Rites. It was just sad, and there was not much for me to really like enjoy about the writing style. But that is again like my own personal preference. I know that like a lot of people really like this book, but just like I just found it to be sad, but I didn't find it enjoyable much more past that. And I'm not saying that like because if any of you guys are like regularly watch my videos, I like books about very difficult topics. I don't stay away from like there's nothing that I won't read. Like literally no topics that I will read about. So it's not that like I'm saying that, oh, it's sad, it's a terrible book. I'm saying that it's like sad, but it didn't live up to its potential of being fantastic. That was very long-winded. I'm gonna stop talking. I won't ever say And Again.
It's hard when you read something that's so powerful and that you enjoy so much, and then you read something similar to it. I feel like I do that a lot, and I feel like I almost feel bad for the book, like the second book that I read. Live up to it, you know?
Yeah.
So, I think that's why I try to like not read similar books around each other to try to avoid those situations, but it tends to happen still.
Yeah, no, Burial Rites I read at like the beginning of February, and now it's like the middle of April, and I'm still like, it's not Burial Rites.
Gonna live up to it.
Yeah, so that was like disappointing. It wasn't the lowest rated book because I gave it a high 3.5, but it was definitely the most disappointing.
Yeah.
What about you, Kristyn?
Again, I didn't like hate this book or anything like that. It was A Whole Life by Robert Seethaler. I can't pronounce German names. It's a German book. And it was longlisted for like the Man Booker International, so my standards were already like really high. And it's this man literally, as the title would say, his whole life, from birth to his last breath is the end of the book, but it's super short, so you just get like these little snapshots of his whole life, like only 5 or 6 pages. It will be like, oh, he was in World War II in a prisoner of war camp for 8 years. Then he married his wife in the next chapter. Then he's 75 years old. Then he's 90 and he's dying. So I could never get like fully invested in the story. Like I wanted more from it, which I guess is a good thing. But I liked like the overall message of it, that like our life is not like a book where like there's one moment and everything leads up to that, and then after that your life is over, or that because you're older nothing is happening to you or nothing is as important that's happening. So I liked the overall message of it, but it just didn't completely grip me.
My least favorite was this poetry collection. It's called Instructions for Killing the Jackal by Erica Wright, and it's by Black Lawrence Press, which is a really small publishing house that I enjoy quite a lot. But I struggle with poetry a lot. I enjoy poetry that tells a story, and I tend to get along with this better. So it wasn't necessarily a bad collection. I just felt like a lot of it was over my head, and it just, I don't know, it wasn't super enjoyable for me. It was really short, so I just kind of like flew through it. And there were a couple that really spoke to me, but for the most part, they were really forgettable. So this was my least favorite.
It's a lovely cover, though.
I was gonna say, it's really pretty.
That's like a skeleton right there, too.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We can just like display it on your bookshelf.
I know, and the cover actually was why I got it in the first place, but
of course. We've all done that.
Did anybody else have any other sort of struggles within their reading? Just because I feel like this is a good time to bring up the fact that although I am enjoying Emma and I will continue to read it, I think readathon classics is not something that works for me. Like when I read a classic, I really want to take it in and spend a lot of time reading it and things like that, and like just smashing through like 80 pages a day was just not doing me or anyone else any favors. Like I was just not able to take stuff in. So I think in future, would I to do more readathons, then I probably wouldn't read classics in a readathon because I just don't think it happens well. So I will continue with this and finish it. But I was just wondering if anybody else had any other struggles on their journey. I
have like good struggles. I have some good struggles that I'm going through right now. So I'm reading 3 books that I like don't want to end.
Oh,
which is good. Like, I feel like this is when you go to an interview and you're like, my biggest weakness is that I'm very detail oriented and I can never see the bigger picture. So I need to get everything done. Yeah. But the 3 books that I'm like loving right now and I literally don't want to consume at a very fast pace. The first one is Jane Steele by Litsy.
You're gonna say
you guys, well, you guys, I probably say Jane Steele these days more than And Again.
That is the new And Again.
Jane Steele
is the new And Again.
But basically, Jane Steele it's marketed as YA, but I personally do not feel like it is YA because she spends the majority of the book like in her 20s, like she's like basically in her mid-20s. There aren't a lot of the same themes that I see in a lot of YA books, so I personally don't think it's YA. But anyways, it's about this girl and her name is Jane Steele, and she's basically like a vigilante serial killer of like misogynistic men. And, like, that is, like, not something that I endorse at all on either ends of that.
No.
But she basically, like, these men are, like, abusive to other females, like they, like, sexually assault other females. And, like, in that day, this takes place in, like, the late 1800s, like, 1880s. It's very, like, there's very little, like, policing around that stuff. So she takes it upon herself to like basically get back to these men who she thinks are doing like these awful things. It's not really that much like Jane Eyre, but the reason why it's called like Jane Steele and it's marketed with like a Jane Eyre, I guess like influence, is because Jane Steele herself is very influenced by Jane Eyre and what happened in the story of Jane Eyre.
Oh, right, okay. So it's not like a retelling.
No, not at all. I'll get like into it more a little bit because I'm like obsessed with it. But basically, like at the beginning of every chapter, there's like a quote from Jane Eyre, and that quote kind of has something to do with what happens in the chapter. But basically, she just like reflects on what happens in Jane Eyre, and it's like, oh, in this situation, Jane Eyre might have done this, or like I appreciate these personality characteristics of Jane Eyre, and they apply to the situation with X, Y, and Z. So that is basically like and there are like loose connections with Jane Eyre, but not really. I also really appreciate that there is like a dominant family in the book that is like all from India. So there are like multiple people in this book that are from India. So it, even though it is set in like the Victorian era, there are like so many like people of color, which I don't see in a lot of books that are set in the Victorian era. And I think this is like so cool. It also covers kind of some like the British colonization of India, I think, and that is like a time period in history that again is not really taught in school. And it is written kind of in the style of Jane Eyre, which is just like, ugh. And she's like very sassy, and she's just like badass, and but she has a lot of like inner turmoil too with all these like vigilante things that she does. So, I don't want it to end. I'm like 70% through, and I'm just like, I really just like don't want this to end ever. So, Jane Steele, go at it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try that. I can't wait to read that. I don't think it's out over here yet.
Really?
I think
you can't get delayed releases.
I don't know. In little old England, still reading Dickens.
One day you're going to get it at the library, and then you're going to read it. Right away.
What I'll do is I'll promise you four that I'll read it with you, and then I'll like fuck you all over and just read it by myself.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Did Kristyn or Brittany, do you have any struggles, Genrethon struggles? Did everyone stick to their TBR?
That is a no. That is a strong no.
I kind of did, but
I did.
I read one
from my
book
TBR. I read Small Angry Planet and Anya's Ghost. Were the two that.
Oh, how was Anya's Ghost?
What? How was it?
How was Anya's Ghost?
It was good. I gave it 3 stars. I don't know. It wasn't like fantastic. It didn't blow me away. It was kind of predictable, but at the same time, I thought it had some really good messages. I think it's supposed to be targeted at a YA or middle grade audience, and so I appreciated what it was trying to say, which was kind of, you know, like to be your own person and individuality and things like that. And so I found that really interesting and powerful. But I think maybe it would have been more interesting to me when I was younger. It was definitely. I just read it in one sitting, so it was definitely an easy, quick read. I think it'd be a good one to get from the library just to experience it.
Cool.
Nice.
Kristyn, struggles? Or do you not struggle? Kristyn
No, I never struggle through anything.
Never
of course
struggle.
not. I said I have a really big problem with like memoirs, and I read Night by Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust book. Clearly, it was like ridiculously emotional, and I always take it really hard. So that was difficult yesterday reading that. And then the physics book, because obviously I am not a science major in any way. So it wasn't especially difficult, like it's meant for beginners, but like I really had to concentrate while I was reading it. So that was a little bit of a struggle to get through, but very short.
Was it like it was hard going in terms of it being like really sciencey? Because I look at that cover and I'm like, well, I just want to own it. But then I'm
know.
Come on, Lord, it's got physics inside of this cover. That is not something I'm equipped to take in.
No, he like really tries to like explain it in layman's terms, but it's still, I mean, it's like quantum mechanics and physics. You can only dumb it down so much. So yeah, you just like concentrate. But each like lesson is only 7 or 8 pages, so it's not that difficult at all to get through. And I liked the last like lesson of the book was more about like human beings in general and like our place in the universe and stuff. So it was a lot more like a broader thing than
finally human beings.
Yes. We do form a small part of the world.
Are there any other questions?
Let me see. Let me look on the hashtag on Twitter.
Yeah,
I screenshotted a few earlier that I saw.
This is a good question. Olga, hi, if you're watching this. I'm like really happy that I met you during Genrethon because, yeah, I'm really happy. I'm like, oh, it's really cool. Anyways, Olga asked us, how did Genrethon come to life? Who suggested the idea and how did it develop?
Oh, what
that's a really cool question.
4 beautiful princesses, and they all met on
Once upon a time.
I don't remember how we came up with the idea. Like a few months ago, we were like, wouldn't it be cool if we did a readathon? And yeah, maybe sometime in the future. And then all of a sudden we were like, let's just do it. Like, I don't remember who originally suggested it.
I think it might have been Brittany that came up with the genre, but we couldn't think of a name, and then I kept calling it Genrethon wrongly. But yeah, I think Brittany was like, "Oh, I think we should do something with genres," which is great. And then yeah, because like we all like to read from different genres, and I think it worked well. Sorry guys, blowing our own trumpet here, but it worked well because it's so broad and because there's something for everyone in there to be able to enjoy it. So that's why it come up. And then there was a lot of like, "Oh, shall we do it?" and like loads and loads of talk over Voxer, wasn't there? Like when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? But I'm so glad we did it, and I'm so glad everyone got involved. Like, super. We couldn't have done it without everyone getting involved, and it just blew up, didn't it?
I know.
I thought it was gonna be us four. We'd be sprinting with one another, and then we'd all be like very tired at the end. That would be it.
I know. So many times we said, like, it's just going to be us and maybe a couple other people, and, like, that's going to be it, but that's okay. Like,
yeah.
So I can't believe.
We also kind of, like, one of the things that we discussed was that we wanted it to be, like, really loose, because I personally, like, when I, like, see readathons, this is not to, like, talk bad about readathons at all, but, like, when people are like, you have to read the third green book on your shelf, that's the floor, I'm like, help me, like, this is too much for me. But
a book with a robot on the front that is a robot dressed as a woman eating a fried egg. You must read
yeah, like, I just feel like that, like, is a lot of pressure and, like, not very broad, so, like, we kind of wanted to make it so, like, everyone can join in, and, like, we only wanted you guys to read 3 books. Like, some of them are, like, mangas, which are, like, easily consumable in, like, 45 minutes. Like, it's not really about, like, consuming a lot, as opposed to, like, trying new things, or, like, maybe just, like, I don't know.
No.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited and happy with how everything turned out, and I can't wait to do it again. I think that it's just going to keep growing, and hopefully we can do it, you know, every year and add new challenges and things like that. So, yeah, I'm super happy, and I've met some really awesome people through it as well, so I'm super thankful for that.
Yeah, I've subscribed to a load of new people's channels and things like that because of people I found that I didn't even know. And yeah, there's been people that have like sprinted with me both times, and then I've seen that people have been sprinting all the time. So for everyone to be so lovely and sprint all the time, and sprints have been really helpful. I've never done sprints before, and I finished one book in my first sprint and another book in my second sprint. So like, and joining in with your guys' sprints as well, they've just been really, really helpful. So I like that we were like there was something going on every day, so it kept it like high.
Yeah, I love how I was thinking, me and Lauren were like, what exactly are Twitter sprints? Like, you were like, explain to us.
Yeah, love that.
Liz from Now Voyaging has just said that Genrethon was part of the reason she finally created her channel.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Liz, that's so sweet. So sweet. Well done, Liz.
Let me go through some more questions.
I had a question from Liz, actually.
Okay.
I had a question from Liz, and she said, what genres would you pick for your TBR next year, and are there any you'd avoid? Which I think is quite a good one. So, as I already said, I'd avoid classics, definitely. And I'd definitely, again, include short stories and graphic novels and a play. Non-fiction's quite fun to read as well. I'd want to read more genres that I haven't read. And I keep hearing all this stuff about steampunk, and I've never read any steampunk, so maybe I'll read some of that next year. But they're the ones that I definitely avoid classics in future, just because it was just too much to take in. And that's not said I enjoy classics. I do enjoy classics, but it's just they're not readathon material for me. What about you guys?
Well, I picked my TBR, and I did not stick with my TBR. Obviously. But I think I would, because we are consuming things at a really fast pace, and sometimes when I read really beautiful writing, for example, Burial Rites, I would have not DNF'd, but I would have saved it for after the readathon had I been reading it during the readathon, because there were some passages that I went through and annotated, I underlined things, I read them 6 times, and that's not really what I want to do during a readathon. So this time I stuck with, I did a commercial fiction, which was a Leanne Moriarty. I did a YA magical realism. I did a thriller, obviously, because Thrillers and More Thursday. I've read a literary fiction, which I kind of wish I had saved for after, but it was also really good to get through because the magical realism parts were a little bit tricky. So I'm glad that I was able to consume large chunks of it at one time, which I find really helpful. Next time, I think I would want to do probably like a graphic novel, because I didn't read any graphic novels this time because they didn't come in at the library soon enough. And I would probably also try a play, because all the plays that I've read, I read quite a few plays in school, but I have never read a play outside of school, so that's definitely something that I would want to do next time.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Sorry. I would want to read a play too. I wish I would have picked one, because it's definitely something that I barely ever read. I think I've read The Crucible, and I know there's one other, but I'm blanking on what it is. But yeah, I definitely think that would be a good one. Also, I didn't get to my romance book, which I was bummed about, because I wanted to force myself to read romance, since I never had before. So I will definitely do that at some point. I'm sure I'll do that before Genrethon next year, but that was definitely something that I wanted to try more of. And I think as we do more readathons, I'm starting to learn like what types of books make good readathon books, and I think that picking shorter and quick reads are the way to go, just because as you finish your book, you get more momentum and you get excited to move on to the next thing. And so I think as we go forward, I'm just going to stick to those quick and not necessarily easy, but the ones that you want to consume quickly so that you keep your motivation going throughout the readathon. So.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think personally, like, I like to, so like when I read classics, I like reading like for themes, and like I like really getting into classics when I read them. So like Lauren said, they are kind of like, they're not like a chore, but they just like take a little time to chew on. Yeah. So I definitely will probably not, I didn't pick a classic this time, and I probably won't be picking a classic next time, even though I have quite a few classics on my radar right now. So.
Yeah, I have no desire to read a classic during a readathon. I like to take my time with them. Obviously, I said I freaking love the play that I read. I've only read, like, other than Shakespeare, I read A Streetcar Named Desire, which was great years ago, and Inherit the Wind, which is another amazing play. So I don't know why I haven't been reading more plays. I need to read more short story collections. That would have been fun for this. But weirdly enough, I don't like reading nonfiction during the readathon, even though my nonfiction was like teeny tiny. But I love nonfiction, but I like to like dip in and out of it during the month. I don't like to like binge through a nonfiction book, so I probably might stay away from like a straight up nonfiction. Maybe like a memoir or something is okay, but yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Did we all go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me find another question. We got like quite a few questions under the hashtag, so find another question.
It's so sweet. The live chat, they're all being so lovely to each other. Like, well done, you Kizzy, you Kid Booty, awesome. It's so sweet. Everyone's been really supportive of each other as well.
Oh, that is really sweet. We had some like really good cheerleaders this Genrethon. I like really appreciated just like everyone being like, really like kind to each other. That was nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay, my bae, Daniela at Pixie Tonic. I don't think she's watching. Daniela, are you here? Say hi if you're here. But my bae, Daniela at Pixie Tonic, she asked us what is all of our personal favorite genres and why.
Oh, geez.
So hard. Yeah, I'm always going to say nonfiction and literary fiction, but like within literary fiction, like magical realism would be the favorite, so... And why? I think I love the beautiful writing style and like the whimsicalness, but also darkness in like magical realism and stuff. And then nonfiction, I just like learning about something new. I always try to find a nonfiction book about a topic that I've like never heard of before or don't know very little about. So, and then just something kind of random that I know now.
Yeah, I agree, Kristyn. My two favourite genres are literary fiction, which I know is incredibly broad.
Yeah.
But my favourite books seem to come out of literary fiction, so that's how I pick that. And also non-fiction. Before this year, I hadn't really read much non-fiction. I attempted something that when I had last year in November, I attempted to call non-fiction November and read as many non-fiction books as I could, and I just didn't get on with it. And then this year, my non-fiction reading has just gone from strength to strength for the same reason that you, Kristyn, like I like to read something new, like something I'm going to learn about and things like that, and like true stuff as well that I can
Yeah.
Fuddle people with facts. Tell them how clever I am.
Oh, yes.
But again, very broad, but yeah, things non-fiction and literary fiction for me.
I think for me, it would have to be, okay, well, obviously.
Thrillers.
Thrillers.
I'm going to talk about, no, I'm not going to talk about Anne again. Okay, well, I think like my number one favorite genre is like thrillers, mystery, and also like some true crime. I mean, that's like kind of, you can like lump them together, I guess, I suppose. But that is probably like number one. But I also really love literary fiction, obviously. But like not so much the magical realism side. Like I just like chewing on really nicely written things that aren't necessarily the most fast-paced or written for the plot. I also really like, I don't know how to describe this, but it's not really contemporary, because when I think of contemporary, I think of like, I don't know, but like they're kind of like case study contemporaries with really hard-hitting themes.
Yeah.
So like, I guess like The Nest, which I've heard of, like is really a lot darker than it seems to be from like the really pretty cover. Also, like if you guys just watched my latest book called like Rare Objects by Kathleen Tesaro, it's like about a lady in 1934 who just went through like the Great Depression, and she got admitted to like a psychiatric hospital, and she met a woman there, and then later on in her life she meets this woman again. Like it's kind of contemporary, but it has like these like dark, gritty kind of like themes, and it's not necessarily like lady goes shopping, lady buys shoes, you know?
Yes.
I don't know how to describe that, but that is the type of book that I like to read.
I
Brittany?
think we all love very dark and gritty stuff.
We all really like dark and gritty stuff.
Similar with what we like to read, and so I would say magical realism for me, and I really love horror. I think that just stems from when I was a kid. I loved scary movies, and I loved ghost stories and like Goosebumps and all those kinds of things, and so that's definitely followed me like into adulthood. I still really enjoy really, really dark fiction / horror books. So, and I think, I don't know why exactly, it's just something that I've always enjoyed. I guess it's like the idea of being scared but on your own terms, like that you know that it's in a story and you have control over it, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but those would definitely be my favorites, I think.
Wow.
Cool. Let's see if we have any more questions.
Let me have a look. I have a screenshot, I think, earlier.
We got a lot of like, did you discover a new genre that you will definitely read more from now on? I think we covered that.
Yeah.
Right?
Plays.
I didn't really. I stuck to my hovel of thrillers and contemporaries and literary fiction.
Yeah. Like the poetry book that I read, I definitely want to try more poetry and try to like branch out and find some poets and things that I do like. So I think that kind of pushed me a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see. Stephanie asked us, did you read any books, or like did you DNF any books this week, or did you read anything that was a little hard to get into? I think we already talked about that. I did not DNF any books this week. However, I do want 3 of my books to never end and like just keep going on and on and on. But I didn't like DNF anything this week, no.
No, me neither. They were all pretty good picks.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. Let's see. Anything else?
No, I'm trying to see if we have any other questions.
Who was our favorite character in a book that we read this week? Jane Steele. Numero uno.
Oh,
that's
God.
all I have to say.
I don't know. I read, yeah, within Bobcat, which is the book that Brittany gave me from a Etsy store, they had loads and loads of short stories. This is a really good short story collection, by the way. I loved this. This was brilliant. But there was quite a few characters in here I quite liked. But yeah, I don't know if there's anyone sticking out like, yeah, I loved him. Like, Joce loves Jane Steele and again. I don't know if anyone loves anything as much as Joce loves and again.
Oh my god. Okay. Someone. We just
Liz has said, what would you do differently in running the readathon? Did anything come up that surprised you? I don't know.
I don't know if I would do anything
No.
necessarily.
I don't think I'd do anything different.
No, I don't think I would. Like, I'm really pleased with how the sprints went. I'm pleased that we did the live show. I'm pleased that we did it us four together. Yeah, I don't think there is anything I'd do differently.
Yeah.
Why, Liz? Did we do something terribly wrong?
Yeah, no, tell.
Liz, did we do something wrong that you want us to
Tell
do
us,
differently?
Liz. What did we do wrong?
Did anything surprise
the only
us?
thing that surprised me was that how many people got on board and did it. So that really surprised me. Like, I honestly thought it was just going to be like us four guys. So it was very, very surprising and thrilling to know that everybody else, there was lots of people joining in. So I was very happy with that.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Let me think. Was there anything else that surprised me? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. No.
Well, I guess sprints was a lot more, not difficult, but I guess like time consuming and a lot more like stressful than I thought it was gonna be. I guess.
I know.
Because like you.
Oh God, check the time. Like, what is it?
Yeah, it was like check the time, like instead of like actually doing reading what we were reading, we're like check the time.
I only did one sprint when I did my sprint days. I know you guys are super sprinters and did 2 sprints a day. So I think when I say if we do it again, when we do it again, because I would love to do it again, I would probably make it so that I do 2 sprints a day because I found them really, really helpful, and I think it's really nice to have like interaction with people as they're reading their books as well. So that's something I would do. I would do double sprintage.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh wow, people are asking us for biannual genrethons.
I know. That's what I was doing, and so I told you what you were doing. So that's probably my fault. Sorry.
Wait, what? What'd you do?
What'd you say?
People were asking me if we were going to do it again because they couldn't participate, and I said, yeah, I think we're planning on doing it twice a year. And this was before we had talked about it. This was like last week sometime, and so I might have perpetuated that.
So April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So that would mean like if we were doing it like every 6 months, that would mean October. Like, would people be up for it and doing it again in October? People in the comments, just comment below and let us know if you'd be up for doing it again in October. Because if there's enough people who want to do it, we got to give the people what they want.
I mean, I would totally be open to doing it in October. I think that it was so fun, and yeah, I loved it. I love October because I like reading spooky books and campus novels during October. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with doing it in October.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very
cool. I could read some horror in October as well, because I don't read much horror ever, so that would be a good genre that I could get into.
I feel like all my books have some sort of like horror.
Everyone seems bang up for October. Yes, again,
like everybody wants
in October. I think October would be a great time. Yes, October, here I come. Horror genre, here I come. Do it again. Yeah, maybe we'll do it in October. We'll let you know.
Lala says it's the same month as Dewey's is in. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So if we could do it again, like again as a Sunday to Sunday. I really like the way that because Sunday is the day I get a lot of reading done. So like it was nice to have for it to include 2 Sundays. So if we could do it again then.
Lala says, as long as it's near the beginning of the month, I'd be in so it doesn't mess with Dewey's readathon. I think that's legit, because I feel like a lot of people are doing that. So, like, we always want to, like this time we definitely checked and we were conscientious if there were any other readathons going on.
Yeah.
And at the time that we announced it, there weren't any readathons going on, so that's definitely something that we appreciate from you guys letting us know if there are any other readathons at that time. We definitely want to know ahead of time, because we don't want to, like, step on anyone's toes that way.
Yeah, and I definitely want to participate in Dewey's, and so I don't want to miss that also. So I think that will be fun if we can do both.
Exactly. Cool. I think that's it. I think that's all the questions.
So, yeah.
I had one more.
Oh, go ahead.
It was about what readathons we are participating in next. I'm just trying to look to see who said it. Angela Werner. No, yes. No, sorry, wrong one. That's one. Oh, I can't find it. Somebody asked us what readathons we'll be participating in next. So who's got readathons up and coming and what are they going to be participating in?
I will be away for a lot of May, so I am not sure. Like, I can't do Book Buddy-a-thon, which is very sad. I can't do Book Buddy-a-thon because I'll be at BEA. I will also be traveling for the rest of May, like literally for like the last 2 weekends of May. I will also be traveling, so probably no readathons in May for me. I might be doing Dewey's next week. I feel kind of readathoned out at this moment in time, so I'm not entirely sure that I'll be doing that either. But so right now, no plans for me.
Yeah, I don't have anything planned in the near future.
Yeah, this was mine and Kristyn's first ever readathon, wasn't it, Kristyn? We were readathon newbies. We just went straight and we were like,
you went all in.
If I run it.
I'm going to run
it. Get me and Kristyn doing readathons is that we are hosting them. So yeah, but it's definitely opened up. I again would love to do. I haven't got any plans at the moment. I would love to do some more readathons. In May, I'm going to have a TBR break and just do a bit of mood reading. So I won't be doing any in May, but over the summer as that comes out, I think that's something. And I like what I liked about this is that it was so broad. So I know there's Rainbow-a-thon. I don't know if that's coming up again soon, but that sounds quite broad. Like you can have like book covers from different colours and things like that. So yeah,
that's
cool.
I think it was in February.
I'd probably go for a broader one. Yeah, so I'd probably go for like the broader guys, but I'd definitely be interested in doing another one, seeing as this one's been so lovely.
Oh, Olive says Ribsat round 8 is the first week of May. Again, can't do that. Too much going on.
I'm gonna do Dewey's 24-hour readathon, which is coming up, and then I will be doing Book Buddy-a-thon in May, which was just announced on Elena's channel if you guys want to go check it out. And it sounds really fun. You pick a buddy and do different challenges together. And so me and Chelsea from Reading Out Loud will be partners, and I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So those are my ones that are coming up shortly.
What's a year-a-thon?
A year-a-thon. I'm not sure. That sounds very...
the whole year.
tiring.
A year-a-thon is in May from the 2nd to the 8th. Oh, catching up and finishing series.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. There's just so much, isn't there? Like, who was that? Was it the Book Owl? We were looking at her channel and she had like a year's worth of what readathons are coming up and things like that.
Yeah,
there's just so much coming up all the time.
Check out what readathons are happening this year for all of you guys that are watching. A Little Book Owl.
Little Book Owl,
yeah. She has this video that's called like readathons that are happening in 2016. If you guys go and check out that video and click on the down bar, there are just like a list of the readathons there, and she updates them every so often. I know that because she updated, and we announced Genrethon like pretty late in the year. We announced in like March, and she updated that, so I'm pretty sure she updates it pretty regularly. So that is a video that I would recommend if you just want like an overview of all the readathons that are going on.
Okay, guys. Is there any other questions? Because otherwise we'll get to the announcement of the giveaway winner.
Hey, I think that's it.
Any more questions, guys?
Let me look under the hashtag. Let me look. Do you guys want to announce it while I look? Let me look.
Yeah, we did a random selector earlier, and the winner is a fellow booktuber called Kate Howe. So congratulations, Kate.
Woo!
She has won the book from Brittany's Etsy store and some beautiful bookmarks from Joce as well. So congratulations, Kate.
Yeah, Kate, just send me a direct message and let me know what genre you want, so I can send you a surprise book in the mail.
Yay! And then we'll have to find out from Kate if she enjoyed the book and what genre she picks and all sorts. We want to hear back from you, Kate.
The result.
Yeah.
Well done, Kate.
Yay.
Well done. I don't know if I haven't seen if she is in the live chat tonight, but I'm sure she'll watch back and see. So guys, is that it? Is that?
I think so.
The first ever Genrethon put to bed.
Well, don't forget, you guys still have till midnight tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so don't like go to bed right now.
It's like 9 o'clock now for me, so I might go to bed now.
Oh, you can go to bed, Lauren.
I think I'll go to bed.
Yeah, you're allowed.
I was hoping to maybe finish one more book tonight. I'm still halfway through Emma, When Breath Becomes Air, and this book called Nordicana. So I could finish another one tonight.
Yeah, I just started reading.
Kate Howe has just said thank you. So
Hi, Kate.
She has seen that she is the winner. Well done, Kate.
Yay, Kate. Okay, yeah, today I don't want to finish Jane Steele, but I probably will. And I'm probably going to finish All the Birds in the Sky, too.
Are you guys going to be doing wrap-up videos as well?
Yes, wrap-up video is coming very shortly.
Cool.
Not very shortly.
Yeah,
Tomorrow?
so keep an eye out for wrap-up videos next week as well. They'll be out shortly, and then everyone can have a little look. And if people can tag us on Twitter and things of their wrap-up videos.
Yes, we would very much enjoy watching your wrap-up videos.
Yeah, and keep us posted, even if you don't have a channel, what you have continued to read like for the rest of the day, and if anything really stood out to you, we'd love to know. So keep us posted on Twitter and Instagram and everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Guys.
Awesome.
Well, thanks everyone for joining in. Like,
thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you.
I got a bit emotional earlier and said like it's made all our like readathon dreams come true, hasn't it? We never thought it would go this big and how much everyone would get involved. So it's been so lovely that everybody's got involved, and I hope everybody's had a nice read of some genres they wouldn't normally read.
Yeah, and like everyone like tried new things, and they were like, I'm just gonna scrap this book for my TBR. They're like, let's go like look for a new genre. I was like, oh, this is really cool. So yeah, I'm just like really happy that a lot of people participated. I'm really happy that I got to know a lot of new people, and I got to discover a lot of new books, which was like really all I wanted from this, because I feel like I read very like widely already, and I was just like looking for new friends and new books. So yeah, thank you guys for participating. Appreciate it.
Thanks to everyone for participating. Big Genrethon kisses.
Yep.
Yay!
Okay, we will talk to you guys soon.
Yes, wrap-up video is coming up soon. Bye!
Bye!